Hey guys, Jason here, Samco Workshop. Today we're going to talk about digital dashes versus the analog and why we should say no to some of this digital stuff that's coming out. So we are here in my wife's 4Runner. This is their 2023 4Runner, and we are going to start this thing up because it is Georgia and it's hot. We're going to kick it in. And there it is, coming to life. That's great. I love the cute little stuff that you get in here on the vehicles today. All these digital dashes that show like a movie. They're all real neat. Down in here, you get all these cool things that pop up and say Toyota and Ford. They show the truck spinning around. And all these neat things that happen. You know, you get a lot of cool stuff. That's all fine and dandy. However, here's the deal. When these go out, if my dash goes out, I can still see my gauges in here because they're actual real gauges. They're analog gauges. So they're there. On a total digital cluster, especially like the Fords, you see this happen all the time. The Ford dash, the whole dash goes black for a while. Sometimes people got to pull over and restart the vehicle to get it, and sometimes they don't even come back. But you lose everything in digital. Digital fails all the time. Think of how many times computers fail and how they only last for a couple of years and how all the software problems are glitchy and all the things go wrong. There are places you don't want this stuff. I prefer simplicity and gauges here. Same with this setup, okay? And these car manufacturers crack me up because they charge you more for a bigger infotainment center that has more stuff in it when it actually, that costs them much less to put the things in there than it does to actually have these knobs and buttons. This knob cost Toyota a fortune for the knob, the hookup, and the mechanics behind this knob. This button cost money, and the connections to it and making it do that cost money. And a fitting for this button. This knob cost money to make. This button cost money to put in here. All of these things cost a lot more money than simply putting it all in the infotainment screen like many vehicles do today. Yet they charge you more to have them in the screen. We want these buttons. As I'm driving down the road and I'm looking forward like this, I don't want to have to go into here and try to figure out how to navigate my my AC and HVAC system controls. I should be able to just simply reach over right here like this, reach over, hit this button, and now I got the fan on. Woohoo! Was that hard? Oh, wait, it's too cold. Turn it down a little bit. Oh, I'm still too cold. Change it. Oh, now it's a little warmer. Okay, that's good. Oh, I don't want that on my feet no more. Boom, now it's coming out of the top. I don't have to look to do any of this. Okay, it's all right there. Volume, bam, we got songs, okay? It's right there. Knobs are good. Buttons are good. Digital displays, although they're cute and they got nice animation, they are bad. They are not good for you. The simpler this stuff can be, the better. Especially like how GM puts the light modes into theirs now. You got Ford putting their locker engagement and their four-wheel drive controls are now only in this. It's getting pretty dumb how this stuff is. These are a wearable item that is pretty much guaranteed that it's going to fail you at some time. Go look online and see how many times infotainment systems go out. And now they're doing that mostly with the dashes. These are bad. We want simplicity. Let's go look at the Jeep real quick. It's getting well too. But I will do everything I can fighting tooth and nail to avoid huge screens with all the BS in it. I want knobs and I want buttons and I want controls. I want this kind of stuff. These controls for all the things that I want to use. Knobs, buttons. Knobs, buttons. Okay, very, very important in my opinion. Analog gauge, analog gauge, analog gauge, analog gauge. This can be cute in the middle and give me whatever I want to there, but when that goes out, I still have everything I need to be able to run right there. I like that. All right, here we are in my Jeep as well too. Analog gauge. Sorry, you're going to hear my dash cam kicking in over there. Recording started. But you got analog gauges right here. Now there's some digital stuff on here in the middle, all that stuff going on. That's fine and dandy, but I have an analog gauge here, analog gauge there. We have my infotainment center in here. It's got all that stuff. It's nice, neat, but I have tons of knobs and buttons right here. Okay, all this stuff to use to my advantage for that. Sorry, that thing's going to keep going until I actually start the vehicle. But it's nice having control of everything here. Even here, look at lockers. My locker button is right here that I can control my lockers with, my sway bar disconnect, my off-road plus button. All of that stuff is controlled with knobs and buttons and all of these features here. Which, let's just start it up. That'll shut that thing up. But see, like I said, this is neat. That's cool to watch. That's fun. I enjoy it. It's pretty cool. We're probably gonna have to crank down the radio here as soon as it comes up. Let's see here. Hang on. And it's Georgia. It's 90-something degrees. We got our air cranking. And let's turn that down. There we go. But anyway, it's neat to have all this stuff in here. That's cool. And you know, you even have all my climate stuff in here like all of them do. This is neat, but trying to do this when you're going down the road, to have to, if I'm in this mode and then I want to get to that, to go over here and have to hit this while I'm driving, that's very hard while I'm driving. I have to take my eyes off the road to find that button. Then I have to take my eyes off the road to know which one of these to hit. Then I have to look at how hard it is to hit the fan speed, how little these are, to say I want to go to that fan speed. Okay, that stuff is crazy. Instead, I have all that right here. Okay, I have everything right here. I can, if we get out of here, I can tap my mode and I can go right through my modes for whatever mode I want it to be in, just by touching that button repeatedly. I have my fan speed right here, simple and easy. Off if I want it off. I have my temp controls right here. I can touch them to go high, touch them to go low, whatever I want to do. But I don't have to look to hit these. I can feel where these are while I'm driving and looking out the window. Same with my radio volume. I never have to go into this for anything while I'm driving. And if my dash goes out, I still have my analog for my tach, analog for my speedometer. I am good to go. Now, I won't know how much gas I got or that stuff. That's digital. But as soon if this goes out, I'm still drivable and functional. That is the big takeaway we're trying to get to here. The more tech and software that gets put into these vehicles, everybody goes goo-goo and gaga for, and they get so excited. Oh my God, it does this and it does that, and it's so cool. It lets me change the background and put a cool picture in there. Whatever that stuff is, that's fine. But tell these manufacturers you still want knobs and buttons, because knobs and buttons are the most important thing you can have. They don't fail. Very often they don't fail. And they are not all linked to one system going down and screwing everything up on you. You can still drive, operate, and function. In the Ford Ranger, with the lockers in that screen, if I'm out on the trail and I went through an area and I needed my lockers to get through that area, say I'm in a Ranger Raptor, for example, and I drove all the way out here, and I'm going to camp, and I drove out there and camped, and I had to use lockers and off-road features to get out there. And then I camp. When I go to leave, if I go through a puddle and something electronically gets hit, my center here goes down for whatever reason, or my screen goes down, I can no longer get out of there because I cannot access my lockers. They're not there anymore. They're in that screen. There's lots of things like that that can be a pain in the butt. So tell manufacturers, voice your opinion. Knobs and buttons are your friend. Knobs and buttons. So just a quick little tip for you about things that drive me nuts, that I cannot tolerate. And like I said, they're screwing you over because they're charging you way more money for the stuff that they put in these infotainment systems, and they're giving you a bigger screen, so they charge you more money. Okay, that bigger screen doesn't cost them $1 per vehicle. It's not $1 more, and but by putting everything in there, they save probably $150 per vehicle by having less buttons and less knobs in there. So they're saving a ton of money and yet charging you more for it. And it's a shame, but that's the world we're coming to. It won't be long before every single thing of these things are 100% computer controlled in one thing. There's no knobs and buttons left in them, and that's a sad day. And then there's the people that are going to jump on here and tell me, you're supposed to use the voice activated. I don't want to talk to my car. I've never set up voice activation in any of mine, and I've never touched the voice little button on the steering wheel ever in my life, and I'm never gonna. Maybe it's because I'm 50 years old, but I'll be damned if I'm going to sit there and say audio, or I'm going to turn it on and say radio up, or call home, or any of this kind of stuff. I don't do that. Okay, I want knobs and I want buttons, and I'm not using my voice to talk to my car to tell it what to do. So my thoughts on it anyway. Voice your opinion down below. Does it matter to you? Do you care if they got buttons? Would you rather they didn't have buttons? Would you rather be just one huge infotainment center like my daughter's Buick and Vista? It's like the whole dash is all a control, one whole big electrical screen, digital screen, and then everything is controlled through there. Is that the way you'd want it? It's all up to you. Let me know down below. Thanks for watching.